Parshas Nitzavim claims one of Moshe Rabbeinu's last Musar Shmuzan to Klal Yisrael. This is the day that he's about to die. And he goes ahead and he warns the people against the evils of Avodah Zarah. So we came into this land of Eretz Yisrael and we saw the abominations of the Goyim, their Avodah Zarah. You saw all this Avodah Zarah. Maybe there be one among you, or family, or a person that will say, hey, let's try this Avodah Zarah. And when this person hears this whole shmooze of what's the terrible things that will happen to you and to Klal Yisrael if you worship Avodah Zarah, so this person hears this, he'll say, guess what? No problem. I'll be all right. I can do whatever I want. So Moshe Rabbeinu says, yeah? Rabbi Hashem is going to lace into this person. And all the terrible things that I predicted will happen to this person. Okay, that's perhaps that's what we're hearing throughout Sefer Dvarim. Watch out for Avodah Zarah. If you worship Avodah Zarah, Rabbi Hashem is going to go ahead and throw you out of the land. See, Moshe Rabbeinu, the last day of his life gives this whole shmooze. And then he says, and if there's some guy that say, hey, guess what? Shalom Yilili, don't worry, I don't worry. Me, no worries. No. Either you're deaf, you didn't hear this, or you don't believe in God. But there's something wrong over here. The reaction should not be Kishal Ali. Now this person is neither deaf and he apparently does believe in God. But for some reason he says, Shalom Ali. How is that? So the Ibn Ezra alludes to this. And the Ibn Ezra says that this person has a machshava which is not entirely crazy. And he says, listen, I know I'm going to do bad. For whatever reason, I can't help myself. But since I'm among such tzaddikim, so I'll slip in. And therefore, God's not going to punish everybody. And therefore, the merit of the tzaddikim of which I live with, that's going to save me. I trust God. But there's something called the protection of the tzibur. And Klal Yisrael is mostly tzaddikim, and therefore I can go ahead and do what I got to do, and God's going to look at me, if not favorably, but hey, let the guy go. Such is the koyach tzibur. And in that, the person is theoretically correct. There is safety in numbers. There is safety among tzaddikim. And the example I cite to this is the story of the Mir Yeshiva in Europe. The Mir Yeshiva in Europe is the only yeshiva in Europe that survived intact, the entire yeshiva. Not Slobodka, not Telz, not Kelm, not Nevardok. Mir was the only one. Mir went from the city of Mir, and when things got hot at the beginning of the war, towards the beginning of the war, they went to Lithuania, as many yeshivas did. And they went and they stayed in Vilna for some time. And then they made the famous Trans-Siberian trip from Vilna, Lithuania, across Russia to Kobe, Japan, and then from Kobe, Japan to Shanghai, China, where they remained for the duration of the war and came out of the war intact. Reb Chaim Shmulevitz, Zecher Tzadik Levrocha, the Mira Shiva, and others told them that we have to stay together as a unit. We all have to be one tzibur. And when we be one tzibur, that tzibur will protect us. Any person that decides to leave, he's on his own. In fact, sometime right before the war, it was Sukkot after the Yom Roim, in which the Bachim would go home. They said, no one goes home for Ben Azmanim. No Sukkot vacation. We stay together. And throughout the entire war, Rabbi Chaim Shmulevitz insisted that everybody learn in the same base medrash. In most yeshivas, you have the base medrash, but you have this room and that small base medrash. No, everybody together. And guess what? They were right. And they survived. They didn't want to go ahead and separate themselves. The Ramira Shiva who lived in our days, Releza Yudah Finkel, not the present one, that was his grandfather. So he had a strange custom. On Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, he did not daven on the Mizrach. He davened among the rest of the Yeshiva. And he based this on a story in Tanakh. The story in Tanakh of Elisha and the Isha Shunamis. Elisha came to this Isha Shunamis, and he was staying there, and it was Rosh Hashanah. Vayemer Gechasi Nare Krola Shunamis Hazes Veikrola Vatame Lefon of an Elisha Navi, who was staying at that time in this person's house, this woman's house with her husband. Vayemer Lo Emor Nailai Inei Charat Aleinu as Kol Acharot Hazes. You did all this for us, you're putting us up. Ma Laseis Loch. What can I do for you? Hayesh Locha, Hayesh Ledaber Locha El Hamelach Osar Hatzova. So let me ask you, I have pull, I'm Elisha. Can I speak to the king on your behalf? So she said, no, Batemer B'seich Ami Anoichi Yesheves. Don't speak to the king. I'm just another citizen. The Zohar HaKodesh says it was Rosh Hashanah. And Elisha Navi comes to this woman and says, listen, you're putting us up. I want to do something for you. Can I put in a good word to the Ribbon Shalom? Me, the Navi, Elisha, can I put in a good word? Forget a Navi. If any Rashiva would come into me and say, Rashan, guess what? Can I put in a good word for you? I said, absolutely. And this woman says, no. B'seich ami anaychi yesheves. I just want to be among the people. I don't want to be singled out. There's safety in numbers, safety among tzaddikim. And that is why Reb Eliezer Yudah Finkel, Zecher Tzadik Levrocha, used to daven among, not in the Mizrach, but among the people. And he used to quote, B'seich ami anaychi yesheves. That's the psychology of this person that says, Shalom li'eli. Ultimately, he's wrong, but the concept is not incorrect.